Start the clock.
Hello kids, Dr. Freedom here with you. Time for some Doctor Who news. Lots of stuff came out today with Doctor Who Magazine's latest release. And yes, it's some very interesting stuff I already told you went on. And there were a few folks who didn't believe me when I told them Clara was supposed to be leaving. And then it was decided literally at the 11th hour that she was going to be hanging on. And some fans didn't like it. Some did. Some did, and some don't like the fact that she's staying. But the problem is she's here to stay, and that hopefully that relationship with her and the Doctor will develop, and continue to develop the way it did in Series 8. The thing is, in my opinion, the only reason I wanted to see her go is because I want to see a fresh companion in there with Capaldi, and I really think the Impossible Girl has gone, in my opinion, as far as she can go, but you never know. They may surprise us, especially opening up with the first 4 episodes are basically two-parters, and the first 2 written by Stephen Moffat and the other 2 by Toby Whithouse. And it's looking like it's going to be some interesting stuff going on in Series 9. And there's been various fan theories. One source I even heard quoting that apparently somehow, and I love this is supposedly out of one of the Spanish reports coming out of Tenerife, that allegedly Missy is being able to stop airplanes and stuff in time. I don't know. But I haven't heard anything further on that, so we'll have to just sit back and see what else pans out on that front. Okay, let's go ahead and let's get into it. Let's hit the nitty-gritty. Let's take a look at what we got. Okay, first up, over on Doctor Who Filming on Facebook. This was via tweet. Possible filming at Court Command, and this is a hotel restaurant that's previously appeared in Doctor-related shows, such as The Wedding Venue, both Torchwood, Something Borrowed, and The Sarah Jane Adventures of the Wedding of Sarah Jane Smith. There was a location sign hanging out there, but no one's really sure yet if it's Doctor Who or not. So we're going to have to keep our eyes peeled on that location, see what pans out as far as that goes, okay? But let's get on to the really big stuff, shall we? Let's jump on over here. Moffat on the Paternoster return and Clara's original exit. The only reason I picked this article is it condensed what we were being told across 50 other articles basically into one. Okay, Steve Moffat said he is hesitant on bringing the Paternoster gang back for another appearance. He explained in Doctor Magazine number 484 that, quote, "I'm always slightly worried that you can't keep repeating the joke. There's always talk of the spinoff, and the Beeb would do it in a heartbeat, but I don't know. The moment you start relying on something, you should probably throw it away. I always kind of feel that nothing should stay in the Doctor's life. You can have River for a few years, but then River has to go," end quote. And he also confirmed the rumors. I was reporting on this a while back, of Clara's original planned exit last year. Quote, "I originally wrote her out in Death in Heaven." That was her last episode. And then she asked me if she could be in the Christmas. So I said, okay, I'll write you out at Christmas. And she came to the read-through and did the write-out version and again changed her mind. But the truth is I never wanted her to go. I didn't really want Death in Heaven to be her last episode. And with Last Christmas, I'd already written the alternative version where she stayed, and I preferred that version. Frankly, I didn't want to lose her. She's an amazing actress, and she never stops working to make Clara better. I was very happy to go the extra mile to make sure we can keep her. In other words, basically that ending scene with the TARDIS, the Tangerine, all that was tacked on. And that's exactly the way it kind of looked when you watched Last Christmas. So that right there pretty much confirms also what the Mirror was saying, which is scary when the Mirror gets something right. But, originally they had heard she was leaving, and then they popped up a few days before and said, no, she's staying. And I also had heard it was, as Moffat even told you, it was to and fro, literally up to the last minute. And then she decided she was going to stay on for season 9. As I said, she had all the way, a little while yet for, she could just say, I'm done, or she could say, I'm staying. So, if she does make it all the way through Series 9, she'll be the longest running companion, I think, in the modern series. She'll be passing up Amy Pond. So, Clara's staying, whether you like it or not out there in TV land. So, like I said, I really enjoyed the way her relationship with the Doctor did develop in Series 8. I think she got a lot better character development in Series 8 than she did in Series 7. So maybe they'll keep doing it. Maybe they'll keep going and do something interesting. But like I said, in my opinion, though, also, I have to look at the fact let me see. She's been in every part of the Doctor's time stream. She's seen every alternative regeneration of the Doctor. She helped the first Doctor steal the pick which TARDIS to steal, which contravened what Neil Gaiman told us in The Doctor's Wife. Had the character of Idris. And then also, oh, looky, she pops up in that one part of Listen to tell a younger Doctor not to be afraid. It fears his weapon and fears his superpower. You see, I'm just afraid they're going to keep making her so uber by the time she's done that she's going to become a Mary Sue. And, if she wasn't already in most, people's opinions out there. So, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not going to throw my hands up and say, oh, Series 9 is run because she's staying. You never know. We might see some interesting things. We've seen some interesting things in the filming from Tenerife. So, we never know. Okay, so yeah, she was not going back. He's hesitant to bring the Paternoster gang back. I'm not sure about this talk about the Beeb would jump on the spinoff, given the fact that Beeb's trying to get rid of the BBC Three altogether by the end of this year, and there's been cutbacks left and right. And like I said, in order to do a Paternoster or a spinoff, 2 of your 3 main stars are going to have to be in prosthetics. That means special effects guys are going to, you're going to have the guys that do the prosthetics, coming in along with the actors, and that story. They got to come in early, get the makeup put on, then stay out late to get it taken back off at the end of a full day shooting. And that can be very hindering to a show. But who knows? Maybe one idea that popped up was maybe an animated spinoff with the Paternoster gang, because that would work. Because then you only have to worry about contributing your voices, and then you animate it like in the style of, say, Star Wars Rebels or whatnot. But okay, let's move on, shall we? Next up, over on Cold Box, Dr. Exec Moffat on the increase of 2-parters in season 9. Here we go. Let's jump ahead. I already told you, Magician's Apprentice, which is familiar, written by Stephen Moffat, and the 2-part story, which we don't know those titles yet, for 3 and 4, by Toby Whithouse. But here we go. Speaking to Doctor Magazine, issue 44, Moffat revealed, quote, "We're changing the rhythm of Doctor Who quite a bit. For a long while, those 45-minute stories were the backbone of Doctor Who. They felt new and fresh and different. It just started to feel to me that as a member of the audience, you were getting too acquainted with the rhythm of it. So you sort of think, well, now it's about time for the music to come up, And then writing the first 2-parter that I had done in years, seasons 9 finale, Dark Water and Death in Heaven, I just thought, I'm liking this. This feels more unpredictable because you don't know how far you're going to get through the story. And the rule I've got is that you won't be absolutely certain whether a show is going to be a 2-parter or not. And sometimes something that looks like it's going to be a single isn't a single. I think the nice thing is not having the feeling of it's 5 minutes until the end of Doctor Who, so he's bound to start running now, end quote. So he goes, with each of the 2-parters we're doing, there's a substantial difference between the 2 halves. Okay, now this is going to be interesting in the fact that, yeah, we're starting off with 2-parters back to back. We do know Missy's in the first couple, and we got to wonder what direction they're going, and especially given the fact we're starting off with these multi-part episodes. So it kind of makes you wonder what kind of serious overhanging arc we're going to have for Series 9. So, like I said, we'll keep our eyes and ears peeled. If I find out anything that's more intriguing about that, I will pass it on to you. Okay, moving on over to, hang on a second, as soon as this gets off my damn screen. I hate when this happens. You see, there's a little drop-down menu that does that every now and then, and it ticks me off when it does it. There it goes. Okay, Doctor Who Magazine number 484. This is for the other stuff that's in it. And we've already read this quote right here, so we won't go into it. But right here, also in this issue, Paul McGann, the 8th Doctor, gives his opinion on Peter Capaldi's incarnation and how it's changed how he thinks about the Doctor. Plus an exclusive preview of the new Doctor Who audio series, Dark Eyes 4, including contributions from Alex McQueen, who is the master in that particular series. He's the master currently in the audios with Paul McGann. Now, Jeffrey Beavers has come back to do it in the main range stuff with like Tom Baker and whatnot, and he does a pretty good sinister voice for the master. Alex McQueen, he's a wee bit wacky, but I kind of like the way he does it, so I can't complain. I just listened to Dark Eyes 4 the other day, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Okay, Bonnie Langford, who played male companion of the 6th and 7th Doctors in the 1980s, recalls her turbulent time on the show. Doctor Who's very first director, Boris Hussein, continues his guide on the making of the classic episode Marco Polo, and he, with the help of the unique documents that have been unseen for more than 50 years, and also discover more stuff about the 1972 Third Doctor adventure, The Time Monster. plus some other nifty stuff here. So if you want to read the particulars, it's all right here in this article over on Doctor Who News. Okay, jumping on over to Den of Geek. This is one for you classic fans that's going to make you heart go a little, sad, because this is the BBC, all right, Doctor Who 1988 report that sounded its death knell. The BBC audience reaction report was one of the first nails in Doctor Who's coffin in the late 80s. Not for publication, is printed at the top of the 1988 audience reaction report for Doctor Who's 24th season. It's there for the purposes of the BBC confidentiality, but could equally be a painstaking instruction to save Sylvester McCoy fans the distress of reading the show's 3-page death sentence, because this report is painful stuff. Compiled in February of 1988 after the broadcast of McCoy's first 4 serials as the Doctor, From Time and the Ronnie to Dragonfire, it doesn't mince its words in describing audience apathy and antipathy towards late 80s Doctor Who. Looking back with the knowledge that the wilderness years were around the corner, each unimpressed audience response and scathing comment feels like another nail being hammered into classic Who's coffin. And you have to remember, when the Doctor was with Mel, because Ace stepped in Dragonfire, the stories, oh man. We're talking Delta and the Bannerman, Paradise Towers, the Happiness Patrol. Oh, man. They were just really, really, I don't want to put it in dirty words, but that's the best way. Oh, I can see Gooflesh standing up my arm now. And then after Ace stepped in, and also later on, as Sophie Aldred and Sylvester McCoy started getting a little more input into what was being put on the screen, the show did start to turn around. Unfortunately, it was too little too late at that point. Michael Grade and all them had pretty much decided, you're out of here. So just to give you an idea, to begin, the numbers weren't good. While viewing figures were slightly up on the previous season, at just under 5 million, the appreciation index, which is the number out of 100, had dropped from 69 to 60, much lower than the 75 average for the UK drama in the same period. And then it goes into more of the particulars here. And like I said, here's the actual report if you want to go take a look at it. And I don't blame them for being upset, because while there were some good points in those episodes, they were generally crap. I hate to say it. There was not very much going on in that 24th season that was worth watching. A lot, there are still some great scenes in there, but for the most part, it was, oh God, so much crap it probably wouldn't flush down your toilet unless you had a really good plunger to push it down. It was, I'm not kidding, there's some really bad stuff at the beginning of the McCoy era. And you can't blame him and all that, because this was Nathan Turner. This was his brilliant idea of getting rid of all the previous writers, which he did back when he came on. And, oh, man. But I'm going to leave this one to read for yourself, especially you classic Who fans may want to go take a look at this just to show you what kind of opposition they were dealing with. The public was literally going, at that point, okay? Okay, over on Kasterborous, you can bid on signed Doctor Who items for charity. Okay, looking for a little help while giving a lot back. Robin Miller, charity fundraiser and marathon runner, is seeking funding for another wonderful endeavor. Ahead of him lies the London Marathon, 26.2 miles of sheer endurance, to use the old cliche, but before Robin can even line up with the professionals, amateurs, and people dressed as the Honey Monster, he needs sponsorship, and that's where you come in. However, it isn't simply a matter of handing over whatever you can spare. Robin discovered a long time ago that the most effective method of fundraising is to be able to give something back to those who support you. So in 2011, he organized the Ultimate Doctor Who art auction for the Great Ormond Street Hospital charity, which brought together cast, crew, and celebrities in creating an artwork based on their immediate reaction to the words Doctor Who. Now he's once again preparing to auction off some awesome Doctor Who items to the highest bidder. And it goes into details right here. And this auction aims to raise money for the magnificent folks at Children with Cancer UK, the leading national children's charity dedicated to fight against all childhood cancers. And technically the auction has ended, but for any he hasn't sold, he's more than happy to look at any proposal. Ergo, there is still time. And here's all the contact information and stuff you need if you want to go check this stuff out. So be sure to go take a look and check out the full range. Head on over to this little link right here at the bottom of the article. So, interesting stuff. Plus, it's for charity. It's a good cause. Be sure to go take a look at this. Also on Kasterborous, latest Doctor Who short trips releases. All right, let's run through these really quick. Little Doctors I listened to, and It's short of a half hour, but it's really kind of funny when you listen to it. It's got some funny points to it, and this one's narrated by Fraser Hines. The Flywheel Revolution is a really, really good short story. If you're into short stories, please listen to this one. This one will kind of knock you for a loop because it's being told almost from a different perspective. And I don't want to give away too much because I want you to go enjoy this one for yourself. These are two really good ones, and that's why I put this article up, because I do recommend them, okay? I love Big Finish stuff. It's always really well done stuff. Be sure to go check these out. And lastly, for today on the Radio Times, Doctor Who's Missy reveals her evil book of choice for the World Book Day. That's right, the Master herself unwinds with something light on the set of Series 9. Now, just what does the most evil Time Lord in all creation read in between attempts to raise an undead Cyberman army? A book on taking over the world written by none other than herself, of course. Well, she is the expert. Yep, for World Book Day, Doctor Who released a fun little video showing Michelle Gomez's Missy enjoying something light during a break on her filming on Series 9. And I love how they just went over this all over again. Her book of choice is World Domination, and judging by the picture of Roger Delgado's master on the back, it's one of her own classics. And if you want, you can watch this nifty little video. It's only 30 seconds long, and it's kind of a nice little tag. And you got to love Michelle Gomez. She is just incredible. All right. Okay, so that's all I got right now from the world of Doctor Who. We have a possible filming site, but like I said, nothing's confirmed on that yet. I'm going to sit back and wait till we get a little something more before we get too excited, okay? And it's just amazing, amazing stuff coming out right now. We did find out for sure that, yes, originally Jenna Coleman was hitting the door. And then literally at the 11th hour, she said, no, I want to stay. And, we got to honor her request. Whether you like Clara or not, she is going to probably be here for Series 9. All of Series 9, there's been no word on that yet, but chances are they probably won't let her depart to the end, more than likely. Okay, guys, that's all I got. Don't forget, Omega Files this Saturday will be Clash of the Titans 1981. Not that piece of flying crap they put out in 2010. This is the original with Harry Hamlin, Sir Laurence Olivier, Burgess Meredith, and Maggie Smith, and just an incredible cast in this one. Not to mention the beautiful, magical. Oh gosh, I'm trying to think of a proper word. The masterpiece artistry of Ray Harryhausen done in this one. Magnificent stuff. To me, the Medusa you see in this movie is one of the ultimate Medusas creations I've ever seen. Very innovative, very incredible, very well done. Okay, so that's all I got for today, guys. So take care, ta-ta. Until next time, see you all later. Bye-bye for now.